we're going to have higher objectives, and we're going to have more people wanting to go to different places. And the way I explain my job is, my team is responsible for getting you great places for team member 8. That's how I explain my job. Our owners will disagree, but my job is to get you guys more places where to go and explore and get to know different places and get out of our usual box. But the business is growing. The business is growing, and we're growing faster than ever, which is very exciting, right? It gives us an opportunity every day to book customers in different places. And I know our teams are here on the phone, and that they are on the receiving end of those calls, and they can someday they can say, well, we don't have a hotel there, but maybe next month they will say, oh, by the way, we just opened a hotel there. Maybe you want to check that out. So the business as a whole is growing. Performance is going well, as far as we've been able to tell, and we have more to do, more uncharted territory to explain. But doing business in Latin America, going back to my initial statement, is rough, because it's a totally different mentality, and we make sure that by having leaders in our offices, that our leaders understand that doing business in Latin America is completely different. It's a completely different monkey, as I always say. That is, it's not like anything we've done, and we acclimate to it, and we evolve to fit that need of the business.
I'll add something. For example, we'll roll out something in the U.S. and we'll automatically think it applies and works well in Latin America. It doesn't. We have to test it. One example is digital key. We rolled it out last year, and we had it in all of our hotels. We're rolling it out in Latin America, and the way it's done because of the laws, the guest has to go to the front desk, check in, and then he'll get a digital key. So those are the different things through his phone, because they have to show the passport and documentation. Owners, I just had a call with one of the owners that you just left me a voicemail. It becomes more of a relationship with the owners. I mean, I had a call last night for one of my hotels because they decided to switch a room type before even asking the brand if they could do this, and furniture's there. So they'll do things and then they'll ask for permission. That's another example. It's just different way of doing business. It's the way we need to adapt to do business, because if we want to continue to grow in the region, which we are.
Yeah, and that is the key. Is actually learn how to do business in Latin America, and I think that is actually something that we are continue to elaborate every single day. We continue to learn from it every single day. When I first started, I mentioned it earlier. When I first started, but the biggest chunk of my region was Florida. I got 50 hotels in Florida. I got 4 hotels in Latin America. Mercy won't let me lie. I didn't have that many gray hair till I actually got the entire Latin America region. It's a different story. It's a different way. It's a different way to do business. You need to understand the in and outs of the culture. You need to understand how to make an impact. But also, as a company, we need to understand that the decisions that we take in the U.S., which is where the big chunk of our hotels are, not necessarily transpires completely well to Latin America. So there are lessons to be learned. There are tests to be run, and then we continue to do that. And what Juan was saying is true. We are the fastest growing region within the different regions that we operate, and there is plenty more to be done. But in order to do that, it's a learning curve. For example, one quick note. After 12 years, we actually had last week the first regional owner connection in Mexico for Cala. Okay, so something that I have been working on with many people side by side with me, trying to bring our leadership to the region, so owners feels that they are not second-handed. And that is actually what has been happening sometimes with us, is that we go out, we sell our company, we get our new hotels, but then everything that we do is more Americas as a whole, and owners in regions like Cara feels left out. So how we need to make sure that they are included, how we bring inclusion. And this was a very big win for us, be able to show them that they care, Okay, we have now a saying that CALA matters, CALA for Caribbean and Latin America. So CALA, where region matters, and it matters big because that's actually the one of the areas that we're going to reap the biggest benefits on the years to come.
Yeah, absolutely. So this will be the last question for me, and then we'll open it up to the audience to ask questions. But talking about all of us are either Hispanic and or Latinos, and we have the great pleasure of working with our team members in Latin America. But I want you all to speak a little bit about how our team members who may not be Hispanic or not Latino can also kind of interact with our team members in those areas and how they can improve that level of communication or making sure that that region gets that message that CALA matters.
I'll pay for Rosetta Stone.
You heard it here first.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the reality. In 2025, 25% of the U.S. population will be Hispanic Latino. Fact, right? If you are now willing to learn Spanish, you will continue to be able to order in restaurants and do your daily things in 2025 and forward. We need to embrace this. I mean, the U.S. will become dual language very soon. You go to any office, any government office in the U.S., everything is in Spanish and English, right? And at some point, it will become a co-language. I don't know when, but we're so close, it's so intertwined that it will happen. So I'd say embrace it now, right? And if you're interested in learning more about Latin America, drop us a note. Hey, I'd like to know more about this. Hey, how do I get to the next step? Like, you've got here 3 people that are fully committed to, the 3 of us are fully committed to getting the most number of people in our court as possible, because we want that CALA Matters effect to impregnate throughout the U.S. company. Because our guests are traveling to the U.S. 20% of the occupancy in Texas comes from Latin America. We're now about to publish some facts and facts and data about what impact does Latin America have in our regions like California, Florida, and Texas, some of our biggest regions, New York, for example. Because we want people to understand that, listen, this is not a fad, right? Like, this is happening, and it's going to continue that way. So I would say the time to embrace it is now. It's not about embracing a different culture, it's just adapting to the new way. And the faster we do it, everyone, the faster that it will go for every one of us. But you have here 3 people that are committed, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to take any day a phone call or an email saying, hey, I would like to know more about this. We'll give you the time. Or somebody in our team, I'll have you talk to somebody in my team about how or when you can get more involved. But we've got an opportunity here to start that process.
One thing I would like to add, one of the things with 140-something hotels open in Latin America, we do ask that the GM speaks English, but when you have those team members, the front office manager, the cooks that don't speak English, we're doing some work now in getting a lot of these resources translated. And I was talking to Nicholas earlier, we have these honors guides, and it gives you step-by-step on how to do a process, but when you're talking to that front desk clerk that in the Southern Cone that doesn't speak English, our vice team in Memphis is translating those steps by step in Spanish to that team member. So we've got work to do in translating, doing more translation. I'm looking at Thais right now because I'll be reaching out to you soon for help with this. There's a whole world. One of the things that we're working in our brand teams is we have our 4 brands in Latin America. How about under each brand we'll have a microsite CALA support and have everything laid out in language so those team members feel like they're part of this team, this greater global organization.
Thank you. And also goes with understanding that there is an opportunity for you in Latin America if you want to go that route. I'm going to speak of example of one of our teammates, Jessica Testa. If you guys don't know Jessica, she's a character. Jessica is a millennial as well. Okay, she was working at the Waldorf Astoria in New York. She wanted to do something more. She wanted to go to Italy and work at the Waldorf in Italy. And actually, on the route, she was vacationing in Colombia, in Cartagena. And she decided that that was what she wanted to do. She wanted just to stay in Cartagena and work in Cartagena. She became general manager of the Hampton Cartagena. And that actually opened up the doors for her to come back to the States and then be part of our team. And so you need to embrace the opportunities that are in front of you, but you need to prepare yourself for that. What Juan was saying, Rosetta Stone, open up a new language. I'm right now, I'm learning Portuguese, okay? I speak Portuñol, which is a bad mix between Portuguese and Espanol. But I'm learning Portuguese because we have the need to market ourselves in Brazil. It's a great market that is opening their doors to us. There is a great opportunity for us to grow there, not only with the Hilton Garden Inn and Hampton brand, but also with DoubleTree. And we need to open ourselves to those opportunities and be ready for that.
Awesome. So we're going to go through a few quick fire questions, and I will pass the cheat sheet back along. We'll do a couple quick fire questions. Then we have a game where we'll have our audience participate with us in order to try and win a prize. But the first question, and I'll have each of you do a different one that way. You all don't. Oh, we'll do the same one. Okay, so the first question is use 3 words to describe yourself. So Manny, if you want to go first.
Okay, I think this goes with a hyphenated, so it's one word. Open-minded. On this business, you have to be open-minded. You have to open your frontiers. Trustworthy, because everything relates around trust. If you don't have the trust of your owners, you don't have the trust of your teams, you don't have the trust, and on and on and on and on. And hopeful for the tomorrow, what tomorrow brings. And that is something that has fueled me going forward. It's also being hopeful for a better, better growth, better position, better future in general.
Passionate. I show maybe too much passion with everything that I do. Just love taking everything to the next level. Trying to think of another one. Committed. I will be committed to my team, my family, this company. And energetic and sociable. I cannot sit there.
That's
Sociable.
Bonus.
Because if you guys have heard of Emergenetics, it's a little test, personality test. And if you see my little circle, it's like 90% red because it drives me. I enjoy being around people and getting to know people. I sat here earlier today and I told these 2 guys, I'm like, I know all these names. Lance Burton. I'm like, I've worked with you. I'm like, I need to go stop and say hello. I'm like, yes, I'm like, I need to do this, and I wish we had all the time in the world to do that because it really drives me to talk to people and get to know people.
Consistent, persistent, and stubborn. Some of them bad traits. Okay, don't copy them, but consistent, persistent, and stubborn. Or passionate. Change stubborn for passionate. It sounds better on a resume.
Okay, so we'll start with Juan. So an item that's on your bucket list.
New Zealand. But I don't have 2 weeks to go there. You need 2 weeks, and you need 2 weeks in summer, and then you need 2 weeks in winter to do the Hobbit tour. And I can't find 2 weeks during the summer and winter to go there.
Someday soon, hopefully.
Mine is, and you're very familiar, to do del Camino in northern Spain. Have you guys heard of that? It's a 500-mile walk, but you do it like in 2 or 3 weeks, and you can do it like 100 miles at a time. But it's a very spiritual walk that you do, and at the end you go to ¿cómo que se llama it? Santiago de Compostela, and I've heard and I've read super spiritual. You do it walking, and you stop in little villages every night and stay at a hostel to do it with my family. That's something I want to do in the next 3 to 4 years.
And for me, it's the Great Wall of China. That's one of the places. Asia is one of the places that I have never been yet. So, Great Wall of China is on my bucket list.
Awesome, thank you. Well, then we're going to go to a game now. So this is going to need everyone's participation. So if everyone will open up the little paper that you have on your desk, you have a colored sticker. It's a smiley face, and you either have a red sticker, a blue sticker, or a green sticker. So if you have a red sticker, you are on Juan's team. So you want Juan to get the following questions correct. If you have a blue sticker, you are on Giselle's team. And if you have a green sticker, you are on Manny's team. So here's how it is going to work. We are going to have some questions come up on Kahoot again, so you guys will get the opportunity to answer on your phones. And we are also going to have our panelists here answer the questions as well. Now, if they answer the question correctly, your color gets a point. And then the winner, we will be raffling off a prize at the end of our session today. So again, you are cheering for Juan if you have a red sticker. You are cheering for Giselle if you have a blue sticker.
Where are my blues? Woo-hoo!
And if you have green, you are cheering for Manny. All right, so, and then we have Giselle in the blue. So we'll go ahead and get started. Yes, let's select classic. Oh no, go back, sorry.
Giselle.
The back button up here. All right, and so the Kahoot should be coming up here in just a minute. Here, there it is, the pin.
Oh, wait, this is a new one.
Okay, we have 11 players. Yeah, so we might not have 24 again, but. Alrighty. So make sure you guys go to kahoot.it. The number isn't working?
No, the number works, but it says
Oh, go ahead and close out and refresh because you should be on the individual. I think we accidentally started on team mode. So it should be now on individual mode. Is it asking everyone for a team?
Yes.
Is it, oh, okay, let's restart that, sorry. Okay, so sorry, everyone's gonna have to re-log in. We're gonna try it.